everyone, my name is Brittany Patty and I am one of the instructors for the live event super course that put together Mass Exodus 2021, and I'm also an alumni of the School of Fashion. I've had such a great time working on this project this year, and I just want to extend a big congratulations to all of our graduating students. On this episode, students take us through their ideation phase, the excitement of brainstorming, sketching, playing with their ideas, and creating the foundation for the beginning stages of their collections and projects.
When deciding what medium I wanted to use for my capstone, my mind went straight to photography. I've been doing it my whole life and I just love it, so I thought it was kind of a no-brainer. But I wanted to try something that was out of my comfort zone and new, so that's why I went to self-portraiture. I've never done it before, and yeah, it was really fun to learn a new medium while doing something that I loved.
There's a lot of research into phobias in general and how they affect people and how they make people react. But also a lot of visual research into the specific phobias that I chose that I relate to and that a lot of people can relate to as well. And kind of taking those aspects from the thing that you fear and try and make something beautiful out of it was the ultimate goal of the collection. So a lot of sketching, a lot of color association, a lot of research into, you know, the more attractive parts of, I guess, what scares us, and translating those into a garment or a dress.
So I usually take my inspiration from my memories, my souvenirs, and try to translate it through a collection or a garment, hence Urban All-Nighter, to represent all the all-nighters we do as students.
And what I've noticed as a fashion student is that when people speak about cutting-edge ideas in fashion, about innovation and the future of the industry, I rarely hear those ideas being applied to cultural clothing. So I was really inspired by the absence of that, I guess you could say. So my goal was to merge modern and traditional concepts to create a new generation of Indian fashion.
The initial phase involved several months of research, critical thinking, and extensive exploration, which eventually led to the development of a collection of garments. And during the ideation phase for creating these garments, the process involved everything from conducting trend research, designing mood boards, doing sketches, making 3D models, creating fabric samples, to testing electronic components.
So my main objective for my capstone project was trying to outsource a material that was sustainable and affordable. So throughout my research, I came across recycled cardstock, and it was a really good alternative to traditional jewelry as it was sustainable and affordable and relatively easy to use.
My collection is called The Real Housewives of Hampton Court, and it reimagines the 6 wives of Henry VIII if they were on a modern day Real Housewives show. So the costumes for it, I combined 16th century dress and 21st century dress to create 5 really just amazing gowns.
And in the collections, I wanted to criticize that culture of conformity in Hong Kong. So that's why I chose to do an East Asian genderless streetwear collection, just to challenge the norm in the area.
I chose to do a podcast for my capstone project because of the nature of it. I wanted to highlight different stories of women and let them tell those stories. Give them the space to share any challenges and successes and let them be the protagonists of their own stories. Therefore, a podcast was the best approach.
My collection also represents this sense of gender euphoria from a hyper-feminine viewpoint, which brought in this new realization that my collection is also a love letter to my younger self, offering this beauty and opulence that I wasn't offered as a child.
Being able to really question the material culture of fashion, what a garment should really look like, or what if a garment was designed as a toy. That's really the basis of my ideation process. I got to experiment on the body as well, creating collages and projection art in order to develop silhouettes unconventionally.
To me, the ideation phase looks very free. So I would tape things on the wall, I would look through my art, music, and whatever inspires me to create garments that truly feels like me.
I started with a lot of collage, and I fell in love with the idea of creating something new with a whole new meaning from things that don't come from the same place.
Through the capstone structure that I set that long-term goal of establishing the organization, and I began working towards it, focusing on research, service design, branding, and web design.
After I picked my theme, I created a playlist that coordinates with the theme so that I can listen to it while sketching. After that, I'll sketch anything that comes to mind, and eventually I created my collection called Melody.
The inspiration for my collection was a lot of historical garments from a slower period of time where fashion and textiles were a lot more valuable. And so I did a lot of sourcing of sustainable, ethical, natural fibers such as bamboo, cotton, linen, and silk, as well as dead stock materials to be repurposed. And it was really important to me to also be sourcing from within Canada.